is all about understanding the different strategies that you can use to invest in real estate with little to no money down. All right. So I know you've heard about the no money down strategies, or at least you've heard the term. You may have come across it someplace on the internet, YouTube University, whatever. You're either watching me or you're watching somebody else, for sure, for sure. But you've definitely heard no money down real estate investing, right? So let's talk about this. Like, is it really real? Is it really an option? Is it a real thing? Or is people just kind of faking the funk, right? So let's talk about these different strategies, how you can start investing in real estate with little to no money out of your personal pocket. So we're talking about your money out of your personal pocket. So one of the strategies that a lot of people normally start with is a strategy called wholesaling. All right. So wholesaling is a unique strategy where you, the real estate investor, would negotiate a very deep discount with a property owner that is very motivated, sometimes even desperate to sell their property at a deep discount. And that's cool. I love it. You'd be like, but Jackie, you just told me that I don't need any money. Well, hear me out. I'm not done. So you would negotiate a very, very deep discount with that particular property owner, get that property under contract. So of course you have to sign some paperwork, a purchase and sales agreement for your agreed upon sales price. But in your purchase and sales agreement, it is assignable. That's the strategy, right? So you are assigning your buyer's interest in that contract to someone else for a fee. All right. So you're technically not going to close on this property. Someone else who has more, liquid assets than you will close on this property. Somebody else who has more money than you will come and close on this property. So there's two moving strategies at the same time within wholesaling. Number one, you have to do all the marketing and, beat the streets and make sure that you get enough leads, that you talk to enough property owners, sellers that are motivated enough to sell their property for a discounted price, way below market value. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about 50 cents on a dollar, 55, 60, 70 cents on the dollar. The lower, the better. Okay. So you are going to take your contract and assign it to a different buyer. And then that buyer is going to bring the cash to close. And then you're going to collect a assignment fee. Okay. Is it a no money down strategy? Some people call it that, but I actually say it's a little no money down strategy. So the reason why there's some money involved is because you're going to need gas, you're going to need marketing, and you're going to need like a cell phone, right? So there's going to be some kind of investment that you have to make in order to get this process rolling. All right. So you're going to need some kind of budget for marketing, because you're going to have to talk to a lot of people in order for you to be successful. People normally leave that part out. There's work involved in this strategy here. All right. So that is wholesaling. Another strategy that people will implement for no money down, if you will, or little to no money down, is a strategy called option agreements, where you actually have an agreement with the property owner to purchase their property sometime in the future, but you get to control that property with this agreement for a very, very small option fee. So investors who are well-versed in this strategy, I've done it myself, we love it, is because you can control, hundreds of thousands of dollars of real estate for a really, really small fraction of the cost, right? So an option agreement, just to even make a agreement like legal, the consideration is like $10, right? So you can literally control a property for like $10 or $100 or something like with an option agreement, an option to buy that property. And then you can assign your option to someone else, which is really interesting. It's very similar to maybe wholesaling. Some people do that, and they have sandwich lease options or straight options and things like that. So there's all kinds of really very creative strategies that you can implement and put different kind of like funky strategies together and then make a whole big thing, Sounds silly, but it's true, right? So you can combine, I should say, you can combine strategies to make one big, really cool way of actually doing business as a real estate investor. Now, if you're not interested in wholesaling or option agreements or learning about that, another amazing strategy that is also considered in that family of like no money down, low money down is something called subject to, right? Subject to the existing mortgage. So you're purchasing the property subject to the existing mortgage that's already on the property. So say, for example, you have a motivated seller, they want to sell their property, but hey, they can wait a little bit for their cash out. They got quite a lot of equity in the property, and but they're behind on their payments. I mean, that's happening right now, to be honest with you, in today's market, because we have all these like mortgage forbearances that are expiring and coming due, and people have lump sum payments that they're going to need to make in order to bring their mortgage current, and they don't got it, right? So real estate investors like you and I will negotiate with that particular property owner, possibly even help them bring their behind their delinquent mortgage payments that is in arrears, bring it current in order for them to sell their properties to us for the balance of their mortgage. Sometimes there's a profit for them. Sometimes there may not be. It just depends, right? But that is a thing. So you're taking over their existing mortgage payment. Now, is that legal? Can we do that? Is that a thing? Yeah, you could definitely do it. It's different from it being assignable, right? Versus actually doing a subject to. So when you look at a mortgage, well, I shouldn't say mortgage, with a real estate transaction, like a settlement statement, there's a small little line on there where you actually can take over somebody's mortgage. It's a real thing. So a lot of people are like, oh, Jackie, that's, I've never heard of that. Is that even something that is legal, is going to pass like the sniff test and so on? Absolutely. It happens all the time, every day in every town, USA. So subject to is a great way for investors like you and I to only have to come up with a small amount of dollars as opposed to the entire amount for the purchase price to actually control a property. It may be only be the amount of money that they are in arrears, or sometimes it's just going to be a really small down payment. So another way, and this is like number 4, we're up to the 4th one, is owner financing. So that's one that people rarely use. They rarely use this strategy, and I don't understand why. Like, it is the best. It's like, to me, I think it's the best of the best one. That is where you get to pay full price. You cool with it. You like, oh, you want $1 million? No problem. I'll be fine with that. I'm going to pay you $1 a month for 1 million months. Too easy. You see how I did that there? You're like, oh, Jack, I could never afford $1 million house. Oh, yes, you can. You can do $1 a month for 1 million months. It's okay. So the cool thing about owner financing is that you get to set the terms with the seller, right? So you don't have to also come up with all of the money right now. You set the terms, the seller becomes your financer for the acquisition and purchase of that property, and you set the purchase price, the terms, as well as the interest, if there's even any interest, but more on that later. But my point here is you can literally get a property, take possession of it, purchase a property, and be in that property for a really small output out of your pocket. So that's like number 5. Isn't that awesome and amazing? OMG. All right. So number 5. I think that was number 4, was it? Oh, I lost track. It doesn't matter. But the next strategy, the next one. Are you ready for it? Tax liens and tax deeds. I love this particular acquisition strategy. It's absolutely amazing. So investing in tax liens means that you are interested in a rate of return, and you're only paying 1 year of the delinquent taxes, right? So one tax lien certificate for 1 year, right? 1 year of back taxes, real estate back taxes, which is cool. So you get to earn an amazing rate of return interest on your tax lien certificate. And in the event that the property owner does not pay back the money that you loaned them, right, for your tax lien certificate, there's a process in place where you can actually either foreclose on it, or you can bring up a tax deed sale for that property for the total delinquent taxes that is due on that property. And the county actually initiates and help you, with that process, helps you file it. So essentially, if you purchased a tax lien for just a couple of $100, and now you're in position like a year or two later, depending on the redemption period for that certificate, you're in a position to actually foreclose. Essentially, your only out of pocket at that time is going to be like just the court costs, the fees, and things like that. Maybe there might be like some additional outstanding tax liens on there that you may have to pay up front, but the total sum of whatever is out of pocket for you is still going to be less than having to come up with, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars to purchase the property at its market value. Isn't this good? I'm trying to tell you, I'm trying to teach you guys. All right. So the no money, low money, low, LOW, low money strategies are absolutely factual, real things. All right. So yes, as a real estate investor, you can implement any one of these strategies or all of the above, learn how to master all of them and really be very, very good at implementing them and be very successful. It's very lucrative. So how do you get started? You have to learn these strategies, the ins and outs, the paperwork, how to have the conversation with the seller, how to find your buyer, how to, put all the pieces together. That's the reason why people like myself and probably other thought leaders and educators are out there. We are sharing our knowledge, our wisdom, our time, and our experience with you, the lessons that we learn, and we are coaches. We provide this information so that we can share it with you. Now, some people are more involved in coaching than others. I know that I have a vested interest in seeing my students be successful. So I share transparently the good, the bad, the ugly, and I set you up for success. That's why we created Tax Deed Genius, and you have this course, and you can invest in that and be part of the Tax Deed Genius family, where you are assisted step by step in helping you master that particular strategy. So thank you so much for watching. I just want to share that I love your comments. I love all the things you say, the good, bad, the ugly, whatever you say is what you say, right? It's the internet. People say what I want to say on the internet, but you can drop your comments, stay engaged. Either myself or my team will answer your question. If you want to contact me personally, you can just go to thejackyjackson.com, and there you can schedule a consultation there, or you could, enroll in the course, and we'll be in communication that way. All right, cool. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget also to click that notification bell, and I will notify you, or Facebook, YouTube, somebody gonna notify you and let you know that I'm online. So you need to tune in and watch and listen to what I'm saying. So remember to click the notification bell and be notified when another video premieres online. All right. Love you guys. Happy investing, and talk to y'all soon. Okay. Y'all have a great one.